Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Danelle Numis and I'm a professional yoga teacher based out of San Francisco, California. Today we're going to review the Warrior series. So there are several warrior poses that you'll probably experience a lot in a lot of yoga asana classes. And oftentimes they get introduced and they're over before they're introduced. So we're going to break these all down for you. So a quick review of all the warrior poses. Let's begin standing. Take your space, so wide feet out nice and wide. And when you step out your feet wide, you can take your arms wide as well. And if you want to measure where your wrists and your heels are, they should align, if that helps you at all. Let's turn your left toes out towards the top of the mat and slightly angle the right toes in a little bit before you bend into your left knee for Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 pose. Now, two things tend to happen with a lot of beginner students or even on a lot of experienced students. They forget. They either lean too far forward to the left or, like myself, I'm a little too conservative with my lunge. So you want to get deep enough with your left knee bent, but at the same time, press down through the back heel and keep that back leg fired up. Same thing with your arms. There's a tendency to kind of lean forward. You want to equalize it. So reaching forward and back at the same time. Last thing here, you want to feel that sense of expansion with the arms and the legs. And at the same time, you want to draw isometrically, that means without movement, the heels towards the center and then feel everything come into your center core. Virabhadrasana 2. Traditionally, your gaze is off your left hand, the front hand. Very powerful warrior stance. But I honestly just like to look straight ahead to keep my neck neutral. Maybe close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's try reverse warrior. Lower your right hand down to your back thigh and reach your left arm towards the sky. Now you want a light touch with the back hand. In the beginning, that's quite hard to do, so be kind to yourself. But try to lighten the load on the back hand and keep the bend of that left knee. So a lot of times we, again, get conservative. You want to keep that left knee bent and continuing to arc back with a big, glorious side bend on the left. Good job. Stay there. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, come on back through neutral and try Parsvakonasana or extended side angle. Lower your left elbow to the top of the left thigh and then circle the right arm up and over. If that feels super awkward, a great trick is to take the right hand to your right hip, slice to the horizon, and the shoulder stays in the socket as you reach far forward. Good. Strong stance, the lunge stays the same, but now you're leaning into your left hand, left elbow, and then extending the spine and twisting against that resistance. Big breath here. Breathe in. Breathe out. You feel the heat, huh? Stand up, Warrior 2 pose, and then straighten your left leg. Let's do the other side. Turn your feet towards parallel again. Nice wide arms, nice wide stance. And turn the right toes out this time. So the right toes face the back of your mat and the left toes angle in, okay? Keep the hips level. I didn't say that before, but keep the hips level and the shoulders level before you bend to your right knee. Remember, we're equally reaching forward and descending into that front thigh and pressing through the back thigh and reaching equally back through the back arm. Again, head can be turned towards the front hand or turn to the side like I often do. Maybe close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's move. Reverse warrior. Left hand to the back thigh. Right arm up and over. Glorious. Reverential posture. Left hand, light touch on that back thigh. Try not to collapse into that back leg. Keep the back leg pressing back and the front knee bending deeper. Big, big, big side body to stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Well done. Come back to center. Virabhadrasana 2 pose. And then Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. That right elbow will rest on the right thigh. Your left arm will curl up and overhead for the full extension. Again, if you want that shoulder to rest in the socket, you can take your left hand to your hip. To ensure it stays there, just sweep it up and over. Extended side angle pose. Remember, the feet are planted, back thigh is strong, front knee is bent, spine extends along that resistance, and then you maybe twist away from that bent arm. Close your eyes or look up. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Come on back, warrior two. Whoo, my legs are working. Straighten that front leg and return your feet towards parallel. Good. Hands to hips. Let's walk the feet in a little bit. And now we're going to turn toward the top of the mat and we'll set it for warrior one. I will say that warrior one seems like a beginner posture, but it is masquerading as a beginner pose. It's just called warrior one. I think it's honestly the hardest. Well, harder than warrior two, maybe not as hard as warrior three. You'll see in a moment. Let's just step the left foot back and turn your left toes on a diagonal and the right toes will face forward. I like a nice wide stance here, so if I move from hip distance apart, when I step back, I even take a little bit wider of a stance. That's because your back heel is pressing down and you want to roll this outer hip forward and keep that bend in the front knee. Warrior one. That pelvis has a natural tilt to the pelvis, so keep it there. We try to draw the navel up and in. Then maybe arms go forward or wide up and overhead. Traditionally, we can bring the hands together and look up at the thumb. That's such a regal, beautiful pose. But if it feels better, you can just take your arms by your ears and breathe here. Breathe in, breathe out. Well done. Let's take the hands to the hips, lift the back heel, and do your best just to step forward, left foot to meet your right. I'll show you on the other side. Let's do it together. Step your right foot back and turn the right toes out slightly. So the back heel is anchored and the right foot is on a diagonal. Maybe widen your stance a bit, as wide as you like. That outer right hip is going to roll forward. The left hip slightly rolls back, but you bend to the back knee and press the back heel. Remember the natural tilt of your pelvis, you can keep that, but lift the navel up and in. Keeping the legs strong and stable, arms go wide or forward, up and overhead. Again, if you want to follow tradition, you can bring your hands to prayer and look up at your thumbs. So beautiful. Or just keep your arms by your ears and have a nice relaxed neck. That feels better, doesn't it? Cleansing breath in and exhale out. So nice, so good. Hands to hips, lift the back heel, watch your balance, and step forward, right foot to meet your left. Now with warrior three, I've added blocks, so if you have support, you are welcome to add those. Let's circle the arms wide up and overhead, and then don't be afraid to bend your knees deeply, hinging at the hips and coming down with your hands on blocks. From here, warrior three pose, you're gonna press into the right foot and float the left leg back behind you. Now it might be helpful to bend that standing knee, especially when you're getting started. And maybe this left leg doesn't lift as high in the beginning, that's okay. Try to keep the hips level and squeeze the inner thighs for more stability. Lift the belly off that front thigh, lift the chest. This is what we call warrior three prep or grounded airplane. And if you want more, it's a lot, hands can come to your heart, maybe arms by your side, sometimes called airplane pose, Dakasana, or Virabhadrasana 3, warrior three pose, arms come by your ears. It's a big one. Cleansing breath in and out. Good. From here, let's just lower hands to hips. Stand up on your right leg and lower your left foot down. Let's try it again on the other side. Circle the arms up and then bow down with bent knees as you exhale. Hi, Cecil. Hands stay on the blocks. Right leg floats back for warrior three prep. Again, maybe bend the left knee for more stability, not so much work on the hamstrings there. Try to lift the back leg while keeping the hips level and square. If you want more, one hand to your heart, working those leg muscles, maybe both hands to prayer, balance. Maybe arms by your sides, airplane pose or Dakasana. Maybe Virabhadrasana 3, it's a big one, arms by your ears, warrior three pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, hands can lower to your hips before you stand up. Now, that might not be a beginner pose either, so I just wanted to review all of the warrior poses so that you have it in your toolkit. Certainly worth lots of practice. One of my teachers says that warrior three is a slog. And I, of course, have to agree with him. So be kind to yourself, be kind to your body, and keep up your practice. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope this Warrior Series review helped you in your practice. See you next time.